Good evening and welcome to today's episode of Pillow Talk with P. My name is Praise Obariberry. And here's welcoming you to another interesting episode of the program. Today's topic is very, very interesting. I must say, it's thought-provoking and most importantly, very educative. I love the topic for today because it has an unusual title, and I am going to be talking about love in an unusual way today. Every time I have the opportunity to talk about relationship matters, it's always interesting for me. Why? Because it's an aspect I really do enjoy and I fancy a lot, because looking at the situation of things around us, looking at the relationships and how people will value relationships at this time of life, where a lot of things is happening at the same time. The world is going through one of the most challenging periods ever, and we're at the point where people are beginning to really become selfish, self-centered with relationships. It's really a blessing when people get to meet friends, lovers who truly and genuinely are in a relationship with themselves without ulterior motives, basically wanting to be there and truly being there for each other, regardless of the benefits that might be accrued to the relationship. Today, our topic is titled Unmask. Unmask. Now, I love music, but most importantly, poetic and educative lyrics hit a particular core in my brain, which helps me to appreciate songwriters and artists who deliver lyrics with mastery. And one of such artists is Labyrinth. His song Beneath You're Beautiful is an all-time special for me. Each time I listen to it, it hits me with newer revelations on what love is and how love should be expressed. He basically asked some profound questions in the song. And the question is mind-blowing. Being able to really be through to these questions he asked in a relationship with another person is a great deal, if only we can be true to ourselves. He goes in the lyrics, would you let me see beneath your beautiful? Would you let me see beneath your perfect? This song always reminds me of my ex. Bless your heart wherever you are. I'll keep his name off the records for his sake. Now, he's one of the most honest creatures I have met in my small span of life. At the very early stage of our relationship, he actually allowed me see beneath his beautiful. He allowed me see beneath his perfect. He also let me into his word that sometimes I had to be the one reframing him from the details. Now, he would always say to me, Praise, I want you to know me and see me for me. In his words. Now, at this point, I want to bring your minds of the gutters, if you're thinking more than where I am right now, please come back home. The relationship was a selfless one. No moral rules, no moral codes were broken throughout. I'm a firm believer, of delayed gratification, by the way. What my people would say, I'm from the Yoruba speaking part, and they would say that don't eat your pounded yam as yam. What does that mean? It means that if you want to make pounded yam, it means you need to boil your yam and then pound it. But it's impatience that makes one who is willing to have pounded yam go eat yam. Meaning that you're not patient enough to have your yam get boiled so you can pound it. And that's basically delayed gratification for you. There's nothing as beautiful as getting to experience the next person, in a relationship at the right time. Because marriage is a journey of a lifetime, and whatever experimentation one wants to make, it's pretty better. And, aside from the religious aspect of it, it's just better, and it gives sanity to the both parties, especially the woman, when these experimentations are done in marriage than in the relationship itself. Basically, I'm of the opinion that the Bible was written to protect the woman for this 21st generation. Well, that's my own opinion. And I also believe that it's vice versa though. But most importantly, I'm of the opinion that the Bible was written to protect women, in a time like this, especially where marriage is concerned. Scripture says marriage is honorable, the bed undefiled. It takes a whole lot of discipline and all, but that's just the best way. The creator of life also gave a manual, which is the Bible. And the Bible, the manual, controls what we, the product, are to feel like and be like, and at the end of the day, become, I also have a problem with delayed truths. Oftentimes people delay certain important informations in a relationship. What needs to be said at week 3 or week 2 of knowing each other, you drag it and say it at year 3. Because some people have relationships that linger that long, even before marriage, Yeah. Well, I am not a believer in such though, but people do that. And, I don't know how people sleep, and you have some important informations you need to let the next person know, but you don't tell them because you're afraid that if you tell them, they might leave you. I think that's selfish and self-centered, because if you know that whatever information you're about to give the next person can make them walk away, why not tell them on time and give them the opportunity, give them the courtesy to decide, if they want to still remain with you after you let them know the baggage you're coming in the relationship with. Let people love you, let people appreciate you, let people stay with you out of their own volition after they've been able to know what you're all about, and let them still decide to stay. Now, when you begin to hide things or delay some truth, it's still a lie, because whatever needs to be said on time and is not said on time, by the time it's been said, the effect might not be wiped away easily. So why not just say it as it is, as at when it ought to be said, and let the next person decide if they want to still be with you and if they don't want to be with you. The best time to unmask in a relationship is when you're beginning to see signs that the person you're in a relationship with is beginning to give you their time and attention. It's only fair. It's only justice. It's being humane to let them know the things they need to know about you on time and still make the decision to still remain in the relationship with you or walk away. Because there are certain secrets or certain informations that we do not give out as that when we need to give them out, and we feel that, by the time I tell this person, as at the time I know that they are already into me, or I can see that they love me already, and they would understand. That you think the next person would understand does not mean that they would understand. And it doesn't mean that they should understand. You need to understand that any relationship that is not based on truth and openness is going to have issues in the long run. And most times, it doesn't even need to get to the long run. It starts in the relationship at the tender stages. Because if you need to say something out, if you need the next person to know a part of you that they supposedly do not know, you need to let them know on time. Labyrinth said in the song, "Would you let me see beneath your beautiful?" Now, you've made a wall, you've built a wall so high that no one could climb through. But would you let me see beneath your beautiful? Because that's true. We give people a version of us that we want them to see. We let the world see a part of us we are comfortable with showing them. But when it comes to relationship and love, and you claim that you're in a relationship with someone, you should let them see through those walls. You should carry them and enable them climb through these high walls that you've created. Because everyone has an image that the world sees. Now, the person outside might see you as Mr. Gentle, but if you know that you're not Mr. Gentle, let the person who you are bringing into your life know that you're not gentle, and let them understand that on time and begin to plan to either stay with you or walk away. Now, if the person you're in a relationship with sees you as Miss Perfect and you know that you have issues, let him in, let him see. If there are things you need to tell them on time. Oftentimes in relationship, issues like, having children, before meeting the person now you want to be in a relationship with, or having health issues, mental issues, psychological issues, psychological traumas from past and relationships, and a whole lot of things. You need to let the next person know. You see, the earlier you say the truth and you let the next person understand the person they're in a relationship with, it makes it easy to help you as well. I also know some people, guys especially, who are still hanged up on their former relationship. So the lady in the past is still hanging around, and you're in a new relationship with the next person, and you're not completely off the former person, and you don't let the new person you're in a relationship with know. Now, if you let the new person know, she knows. It's just intuition for women. When they see a particular lady, the way she talks to you, the way you talk about them, they know, okay, you still have some feelings for this person. And they know how to work their way into your life and present themselves. So the next person knows that, okay, at this point, you have to draw the boundaries. But men, being who they are, want to play superheroes, and most times they won't say, and the lady on the other end, the former lady, if the person is not a godly person, if the person is not a person of character, can still use their emotions they know that you have for them to still lure you back. And those things create issues. So the new person is more like dragging attention with the former one, and it's crazy. Relationships can be a lot easy if we tell the person we're in a relationship with the things they need to know on time. So you're a lady and you know that your past relationship, the guy in the past is still hanging around or probably still wants to come back, or the person in the former relationship with, you were in the former relationship with, and probably had a child for, is still hanging around, in the bid to say, oh, he wants to be in touch with his child, and you do not let the next person, the new person you're in a relationship with now, know that, it's going to create issues for you. It's going to make your life complicated. Who likes complications? Who likes complication? Nobody does. So it's better to bring the cards, lay down on the table. You guys sit together, you shovel and reshovel these cards until you're able to get your bearing, and and decide for yourself, okay, if you're able to comfortably still be in a relationship with this new person or not. And everyone would be able to tread carefully, and you have less drama. The problem is we all come maxed up. We show a part of us that we want the next person to believe and see, and we keep these things to ourselves, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Relationships can be less traumatic, can be less stressful, less complicated if we would only unmask ourselves to the next person. Just be plain, be true to the next person. Tell them, show them who you are. Let them know the things in your past they need to know on time. So, and give them the opportunity to decide to be with you. Do not cajole anyone. Do not pretend to love someone and keep them in misery. It doesn't make sense at all. It is not fair. Whatever you will not take from the next person, don't give. Don't give out. African men generally are of the opinion that, a man can do certain things and go free, but the women can't. But those ideologies are crazy. They're crazy. What is good for the geese is good for the gander. It's got nothing to do with sex here. It's got nothing to do with sex, or whether you're a man or a woman. It's got nothing to do with that. Relationship is a matter of the heart, and you must understand that the next person's heart needs to be treated with care. Relationship is a matter of emotions, and you should have regard for the next person's emotions. If you have something you want to say, there's something you need to let the next person know, say it on time. Unmask yourself. Say it out. Let the person decide to still be with you in the relationship. So you know that right now, in the new relationship, you're having issues still with your past. You still have emotions lingering from your past. Settle it. Relationship is a thing for two whole human beings. If you have baggages you're dragging from your past, it's either you deal with it before you come into a new relationship, or while you're in a new relationship, let your cards on the table and let the next person understand who they are about to enter a relationship with. Say the things you need to say, as that when you need to say it out on time. Unmask yourself. The earlier you unmask yourself, the better for everyone in the relationship. Because relationships are in stages, and every stage should be maximized properly to prevent misunderstanding and distrust. Because trust is like palm oil. Once it hits the ground, salvaging it is pretty difficult. It's not easy to clean up palm oil on the floor. It's not. Without leaving a trace, Kojo, it's not easy. There's going to be some traces there. Relationships are actually built on trust. And most times without prior experience, because it's not in all cases one gets to fall in love with people one knows or knows at a close range that you can be able to vet for their character. So friendship and in a relationship sometimes is like walking into a forest with blindfolds on. You're walking into it and you're hoping it would be fine. So talking about real stuffs helps the both of you to sail without hazards on the road. It helps you because relationship ain't easy in the first place. And so when you're not coming with your baggage and you're not letting the next person into your word, there's going to be issues. Trust me. There's going to be issues. Because you must let the next person know the things they need to know and know on time. It is manipulation when you have things you need to tell the next person and you keep it. You wait for them to fall in love with you first. Then you now come and say, oh, I have a secret I want to tell you about me. And then you begin to say it out. As at that time, the person is already into you. The person has planned their world around you. And then you begin to give some scary revelations about yourself. And you put the person's life on a merry-go-round, and relationship can be pretty messy when the things that needs to be said are not said when they ought to be said. We all have issues in our relationships, but we can make these issues minimal if we come into relationships with people. Even at the point of friendship, start letting the person know who you are, what you represent, what you do not represent, so the person knows who exactly he's dealing with. So don't just show the person you're in a relationship with a part of you. And this is one issue I have with church people. We sit around religion. We use everything. We battle with religion. We carry religion on our head and we forget that we're still humans. Because truth be told, in marriage or in a relationship, it's not all the time you're praying. Yeah, prayer is good. I support prayer, yeah. But it's not all the time that we sit about prayers. Sometimes it's better for you to lay your cards down, let the next person know who you are, be true to the person. That's a great prayer on its own, because a relationship built on trust is going to last and it's going to stand the test of time. But a relationship built on prayers without trust is going to have issues and the ship is going to wreck somewhere. That's a disaster heading to happen somewhere. And so, we church people, we have a way of painting things. We spiritualize everything. There's a place for the spiritual. There's a place for the physical. Yes, be spiritual. Let's pray about our relationship. Every relationship needs prayer, definitely. And every relationship needs respect, needs trust, and needs openness. You need to unmask. The God you are inviting into your relationship, or the God you claim to uphold in your relationship, needs you to be open to the next person. Say the things you need to say on time. On time. Because timely information helps a lot. Oh, if I continue, we'll go on and on today. At this point, I would like to draw the curtain for today's episode. And here's hoping that even as we go out this week, we'll unmask ourselves to our loved ones, unmask ourselves to the people we're in relationship with, unmask ourselves to our friends, so we're able to have a world where people trust, respect each other, and know each other for truly who they are. And if you got value from this episode, do well to subscribe, do well to like the page, subscribe, like, comment. I want to hear your interactions too. I want to hear your comments on this subject matter, experiences you two have had about people not unmasking themselves to you, so we're able to learn together. Thank you so much for your time. And this is me saying goodbye. I remain Praise of Barry Bear until I see you next week. Peace.